Winters in the Pacific Northwest can be long, dark, and, well, rather dreary. But there's a place that can help lift your spirits to help remind you that spring is just around the corner. And that place is Catherine Creek. Let's get into it. How do you get here? Well, it's located on the Washington side of the Columbia River Gorge, about 6 miles east of Hood River on Highway 14. You're going to want to turn left on the old Highway 8 road, and at about a mile and a half, you'll reach the trailhead located right on the road. And at the trailhead, there's actually two main trails here. On the south side of the road, you're going to have the Catherine Creek Universal Trail. Now, this trail is paved. It's pretty uneventful, but it gives you a good sample of what the area has to offer. At one point, the trail does offer a good view of Catherine Creek going into a small canyon, and it provides good views of the Columbia River Gorge itself. It's about 0.9 miles round trip in a loop, the total elevation gain of close to 100 feet. The main attraction here is the Catherine Creek Arch Loop Trail, which is on the north side of the road. For this trail, you're looking at 1.9 miles round trip with a total elevation gain of around 400 feet. And the best time to visit this hike is probably going to be the springtime and maybe the fall, but you're really going to want to focus in the springtime because this place is famous for its flowers. You get a wide variety of different flowers in a small little area, so I would really focus on the springtime. I would also recommend to download the trail map before you head out, or at least take a picture of the trail system at the trailhead, because there's a lot of misleading trails as you're doing this loop. So that will help you keep on track so you don't take a wrong turn. So to start this trail, you're going to go through the gate and kind of veer to the right. After a short distance, you're going to reach an intersection. Now this intersection is where you're going to complete the loop. I would recommend actually the left fork here because that way on your way back, you're actually looking towards Mount Hood and the gorge itself and getting those views. If you take the right fork, you kind of have to turn around to see those. So I recommend going left here up the creek. However, when I did this, I went the other way. So that's what we'll do here. So from the intersection, I went right, which drops you down to the creek. Once you get down to the creek, you're going to cross the creek on a small footbridge and then start heading up above the creek and canyon in open meadows and open views of the Columbia River Gorge. As you're making your way up the hill, there's flowers all over the place. Now, I did this hike in early March, and so there's several grass willows, yellow bells. There's just tons of flowers all over the place as you're making your way up through this section of the trail. The trail is going to continue going up the hill, kind of near the edge of the canyon until you reach a wooden fence. Now, this wooden fence is actually surrounding where the natural arch is. And they don't want you going on the arch or around the arch. The Yakima Indian tribe wants to keep the area preserved because it's sacred to them. So please respect that and don't go over onto the arch. When you hit the power lines, the trail veers to the left. It's another intersection and you're going to want to turn left. This is actually the start of the Atwood Road, which will take you back towards your car. The trail or road here goes down the hill through some oak groves until you hit the bottom of the arch, where there's also another wooden fence. But you only get distant views because they don't allow you to go up to the arch anymore. But it is quite unique for this area, so it is pretty cool. The trail continues down the hill until you reach the creek. And at the creek, you're going to have to cross it. I did this hike. The bridge was actually washed away, or at least portions of it, and it made for a really challenging creek crossing. Now, the creek is pretty seasonal. It generally dries up in the summer. So after a big rain, or if you're going in the springtime, the creek is probably going to be up. So if the bridge hasn't been replaced, just know that the creek crossing was rather challenging. After you make your way across the creek, the trail continues on up the hill till you hit the intersection, go back to your car. So what did I like? Well, obviously the flowers are the star of the show here. Now I've been here several times before, but I don't remember the flowers this early in the year being so plentiful. There were flowers galore everywhere. And I know that there was a wildfire that swept through this area last year, and maybe that has something to do with it. Either way, I'm not going to complain. There's so many different flowers through here that anytime during the spring is going to be wonderful. Now, there is a really good reason why I avoid coming to Catherine Creek every single year. And that is because out of the half dozen times I've been to Catherine Creek, myself or someone in my party ends up getting a tick. I was hopeful maybe this would be different because it had been a little while since I've been to Catherine Creek. So I came with tweezers in hand, hoping maybe this time will be different, but it wasn't. I got a tick. I mean, it's very possible that it's just a complete coincidence. It's not. But regardless if it is, this place is beautiful. It is worth coming here, even if there is a ton of ticks. That's why this hike is rated a bucket list hike. Now, I could have rated this hike all day, every day, but if I did this hike every day, I'd probably have Lyme disease by now. Now, it is possible that I got this tick on another hike that I did right after this that's in the area. But regardless, it's still the same area, but there's just lots of ticks, or they just really love me. But stay tuned for that hike. If you like this video, hit a like, hit a subscribe. See you in the next one.